The Year of Shadow is coming to an end, and I figured why not review the Ultimate Mode mod that came out sometime, I guess 4 months ago. It was updated this month, especially the version that we reviewed here, titled version 1.1-Review. Specifically, we will be using the 2-player reloaded variant, version 1.0b, with a twist. We're going to be using the reloaded version 1.2 codebase. We're going to have the features spin dashing into a slide, gliding out of a homing attack, and both players can use the revamped melee system that's part of reloaded version 1.2. Since we're using the version 1.0b of the 2-player reloaded mod, all the layouts are based on that, then with the ultimate mode applied on top of it. First impressions, you're going to pass the skydiving section at the beginning, and there's a little platform where you have to do a spin dash across. Then there's no spring where the emerald usually is. You got to use a gun soldier or some other material to spin dash jump up here. Then next is at the section where there's a platform, and there's multiple platforms. My partner here using Chaos Blast to increase his height so he doesn't die. Gotta make a jump here, and gotta make another jump over here with this platform going up and down, and oh no. So since this mod has no checkpoints, every time we got here, die. So at this point I just said, yep, it's save state time. I'll be playing as Shadow on the left side of the screen, and S-Link will be playing as Sonic on the right side of the screen through Parsec. Next major thing that's different is they removed the helicopter for this jump section here. I didn't make it, but S-Link did. I just used CC because we happen to have CC at this point. Other major difference here, this helicopter, you actually have to time your spin jump and then grab it, which is really cool. I love this. This is a pretty clever design here. And unfortunately, that's when I remember that player 2 does not have that ability yet. That's something I still need to add. So, yeah. Technically, if you get Chaos Control, player 2 can make it over here, but at this time, we just didn't care, so I went ahead and grabbed the goal ring. So my initial thoughts are, I like the extra platforming challenges. I don't like that there's no checkpoints at all, especially for 2 players, so that's why we decided to use save states here. I think I have a general idea of what to expect moving forward. Watch what Sonic does there. Sonic went ahead and hit the collision that's still there, because while the platforms were deleted, in this stage in particular, those platforms are not actually tied to the collision, so whoops there. Definitely want to remove the collision in the future. Now this is just a little funny thing that happened on Shadow's side here. Those guys to get up when I'm soft locked. This section right here, you destroy the gun beetles, the searchlight pulls you in. If you go into that light speed circuit, you just die. So that's kind of annoying. So player 2 went the other route, and then I had to wait until we either had chaos energy so I could go through, or just opt to reset the stage. Now player 2 here, what do you think to do at this point? They've just traversed these platforms and now they're staring at a searchlight, so the logical thing is, okay, jump into the searchlight, but that didn't work. As it turns out, you're supposed to turn the camera to the right and then make your way over here and then destroy the enemies. You couldn't control the camera at that point, so that's something that needs to be fixed, or just have an auto camera that turns to the right, or just put the block more on screen so you see where to go. Now we have chaos energy, so I can finally move on my side. This right here, I kind of like the idea behind it, except it's so fast that trying to turn the camera, you can't see anything. That's me holding the camera all the way. You can just wait and time your spin jump there to skip it. I do like this section. This was pretty cool. Glyphic Canyon, nothing much to say. I liked that they forced doing those little shortcut routes here that skip the springs.
Enemy sighted. Forgive me.
Rest in peace, player 2. Player 2 going ahead and using Chaos Blast to stay alive until I can get the goal ring. So Lethal Highway has a kind of a unique gimmick that I didn't see anywhere else in any other level, where just there's a lot of enemies. Unfortunately, not high variety. It's typically all the same type of enemy, just duplicated multiple times. There are some really cool platforming sections going on here with the debris where you gotta spin dash jump off of them. I love that. At the end, there's just a ton of enemy spam again. And oh no, I killed Sonic, so in theory we have to restart the whole stage if we weren't using save states. Prison Island, I was trolled by the lack of the dash ring behind you at the start, so well done on that, you got me.
Hey Shadow, you hanging in there?
I do like the forced platforming here where you gotta use the side of the stage, and we both failed there. This part right here, Sonic actually had no problem getting across. Me, on the other hand, I thought you could land here. You cannot, there's collision. It would be nice if you could add like a custom collision block here or remove the piece there or something, I don't know. Just, you know, thoughts. Once again, this is why a save state or checkpoint is nice here. Fell down in this area, there's a recovery. This I kind of thought was neat. I'm not sure if this is intended, but you can use the saucer to get past that section. I almost fell for this. I almost threw that throwable object, which probably would have screwed you over. Thankfully, I caught it, and then eventually I got the spin dash jump and moved on. Circus Park. So I thought you weren't supposed to be able to get rings here, huh? Well, as it turns out in this stage, you can actually get 50 rings. Shadow doesn't seem too pleased about that. Sonic opted to go for the tent here, and I opted to go for inside the tent. Just having a good old time in Central City here. I didn't see anything too notable. We had a funny situation here where I had save stated where player 2 was going to die no matter what, and I happened to get enough Chaos Control points in that small window where I could catch Sonic before hitting the ground. So we managed to recover right at the end there and then finish the stage. We did not want to restart.
Behold the ultimate power!
Really cool stuff going on with the egg fleet in Sky Troops. I like the faster shooting, especially that there was multiple going on. The intro was also pretty cool too. Once again, another spin dash high jump required. Missing collision type thing, and I did like these panels, these harder, tighter platforming that's going on here. It's kind of surprised me because I thought this was based on 1.1, but it seems some of the layouts are taken from 1.0. It was a cool surprise, I wasn't expecting that. Now this was pretty cool, this caught me off guard. I didn't expect this to happen on the red tower. Death Ruins. So I was trolled by this. I was half expecting that you wanted to be flung back, but nope, it didn't go anywhere. And Sonic went ahead and got it first try. I destroyed these platforms, which screwed player 2 over, so we retried a few different times and eventually settled on this. That was pretty fun to, like, problem solve, and obviously you can always use Chaos Control to get around some of this, but we tried not to. That was a funny where we just tried to both spin dash jump on the snakes. That was not the intention, you're supposed to use the side here, but it took us a bit. The arc is the arc. Arc skip still works, enough said. So Air Fleet, this part, a little bit wonky. I don't know if I like this. Oh no, rest in peace. The collision is very finicky, so it like drops you all the time. You just kind of mash A and hope that you get up. Sometimes you'll just glitch through it. Eventually I do get it here. Yep, there we go. Sonic chose to go past this. You can also hit the rail and go up. This was a weird glitch that happens. This isn't related to this mod in particular. This is a 2-player mod defect. I still don't know what causes it, but sometimes there's like an invisible piece of collision that loads and it won't unload even if player 1 or whoever was ahead comes back. See, I'm hitting it now on the left here. And it just doesn't unload, so unfortunately you have to reset if this happens, or you just go around it, so. Outside section, pretty neat. You gotta use the rails here and then across. If you don't want to do that though, you can just go across here and you have enough distance to cross, or you can hit the wall and then final jump across. It fell for this. Player 2 was smart, I wasn't, so thankfully I had CC, you could get past it. So here was the first problem we ran into. So player 2 cannot move at the start of Space Gadget, which if I recall is a bug in 1.0A of 2P Reloaded, so I was able to delete this, but heads up, that's something that needs to be fixed. This section right here, a really cool idea, but watch what happens, because I didn't understand. So I thought, okay, ignore the gravity switcher, just hit the rail. Player 2, on the other hand, was smarter than me. Hit the gravity switcher, and oh look, now it's nicely set up for the rail, but if you watch what's going to happen on Shadow's side, I'm not so lucky. Whee! Damn. Lost impact. I like this bit that they got rid of the rocket as many times as it took me to get across. Many attempts. Eventually we did make it though together, just, you know, took a bit. Now we're just having some turrets. Not much really changed on the stage that I could tell. Ooh, that was close. Oh, this was a funny glitch that happened. So I'm player 1 controlling the turret, but somehow I took over the player 2 screen for the turret. So that was a whoops, not really sure what happened there. Something with my code went wrong.
Damn.
Ending, they moved the goal ring inside the bomb area. Alright, so player 2 here was clever. They really wanted to go with the shortcut. So they used Chaos Blast to get their elevation high enough where they can shoot through the crack and hit the switch. I thought that was pretty smart. This was kind of interesting that they require you to spin dash across that little block there. Whoa! This was using the experimental camera code thing, that's why it looks a little bit wonky where sometimes player 2 has the back cam.
They keep breaking through the gates. Come here.
And unfortunately, I was much too far away from that goal ring, so player 2 saved me. Leaving you, Sonic. Hey, there we go. And this is the first warp hole in Black Comet. So, where's that second saucer? Well, it's nowhere to be found, and I don't think this is intentional, but you can still technically get around this. Obviously, you can get Chaos Control, or you were trying to go ahead and grab that other saucer that that alien had. And player 2 here, I didn't realize this, was like, hey, wait a minute, what if I just switch saucers? We weren't actually using voice chat here. Kind of just intuitively figuring it out. That was kind of funny. So that's why I'm jumping up with joy here. It's like, woohoo, good job. And then right after that, nope, you gotta ditch your saucer and make it across here, and oh no, same problem. We're back to one saucer. So I think that's something that needs to be changed. You can get around this, once again, by using Chaos Control, or you can do a spin dash jump, and I fail at multiple times here, but you can do a spin dash jump into the wall and then homing attack and get enough height here to make it up across. Many attempts later. There we go. Showing that it's possible, technically. Oh, this was a funny that happened because we're using an experimental movable wall warp is going on, and that happened because we hit the warp hole at the same time. Lav A Shelter, not much to say here. More platforms. I didn't think this one was that interesting, though. Cosmic Fall. If you didn't like Cosmic Fall and Reloaded, oh boy, this one is ramped up even more. So they took away a lot of the platforms and made some things faster. Like this section here. Usually you can cheese it with a spin dash, but not in this case, so I fell to my death there. We reloaded again. Said you're gonna have to do this normally, so still got a spin dash jump across to each one. This was just a funny. I was curious if you could hit the other player coming up on the rocket, and you sure can. Rest in peace, Sonic.
Damn, not here.
Final haunt. This section was kind of neat, so after the first arena there, go up here, dying as usual, go up the dark spline, and after that there's a platform here, so you got a spin dash jump hitting the side here and make it up there. Whoops, rest in peace, player 2. Once again showing that this really needs checkpoints if you're playing with 2 players. Or just, you know, be willing to use save states. Oh, last way we ran into an issue where you can't move at the beginning, which is normal in Reloaded 1.2. I'm assuming that's what happened here. And unfortunately, because of that, you hit the other player and they both will die as a result. So that's no good, so that needs to be fixed. We took away the control lock in our case. Not much was really noticed in Last Way, personally. Well, I like the idea of this mod. I definitely think it's not recommended for players who haven't really played much of Shadow before. This is definitely for like veteran players who really understand the mechanics and they want a harder challenge. I like the idea of ringless. I think checkpointless, though, is too much just because it's frustrating, especially if you get later. You don't want it to be tediously difficult, you just want it to be difficult. So either just accept to play with save states, or maybe the mod creator can consider adding checkpoints and maybe patch in a system where hitting a checkpoint doesn't give you rings. I'm assuming that's kind of the reason they stayed away from checkpoints, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, it's their mod at the end of the day. Overall, pretty fun stuff. If you love Shadow mods, definitely give this a try. Highly recommend it, especially in 2-player, even with, you know, the caveats as they are. Thank you again, Sonic Section, for creating the Ultimate Mode mod. It was great fun, and I look forward to seeing any future improvements and other mods you make. Lastly, I want to give you kudos because it's really cool to see people using power plant and other tools made for this game. Great job.